Craft Panther, thanks to the 20 bucks. You ever wonder if Eleanor is retarded? I don't know. She seems not very smart, but would date the food she eats. Would smash, though. Anyway, Alvin the Chipmunks is a great movie about 3 needs and a single father. I reached character limit. What? Eleanor from what? I don't even know what Eleanor you're talking about. Is there an Eleanor in the Chipmunks movie that I don't remember? I don't fucking know. Oh, it's one of the Chipettes? Oh, it's one of the Chipettes. Okay, I don't remember the female chipmunks' names, guys. Sorry.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Today, I want to talk about, the future of my life and, how I've matured as a person, over the past year. It hasn't been easy. I've been living out of my car for a while now, which, if I was a very materialistic person who, missed a lot, I don't need much. I really don't need much. As long as, I have my car to sleep in, it's not really much different than how I was living back in fucking Brooklyn because, nowadays, I've been through 2 major jobs. I worked in construction for a bit, and while I was doing that, I was getting my CDL. I got my CDL in December, which was pretty fucking easy, by the way. I don't know why exactly, my parents made it seem like it was such a big deal to, get into trades, all that. They really wanted me to go to college and finish college, even though I got a complete useless degree in liberal arts.
Well, how'd you fall for that?
Because I understand, this economy is really bad, and, trade jobs, my parents would tell me, oh, they wanted me to be a cubicle cuck, basically, just, sit behind a desk in, a little cubicle, which, that couldn't, fucking end well, because it's, first off, it would be incredibly boring, and, just having to go through school and be in debt and pay that debt off, because, the rest of my family, they do, trades and stuff like that, and it's only, I would assume it's genetic, I unfortunately as well, stumbled upon alcoholism, and, that hasn't been easy as well. I actually do take a medication for it to, just stop alcohol cravings, because I do drive a truck now.
It's crazy how people, it's just, why is this so normalized to take medications for everything? I'm glad I don't take any. It's just, everyone's on fucking everything. It's why are you guys fine with scrambling your fucking brain? I know I have an addictive personality and struggle with this type of shit, but I'm not going to take a medication just so that, because I don't have the willpower to just not do something.
There's a lot of things that happen that, I'm kind of grateful for, but not really. I'm the type of person that needs a 9 to 5, of course. Lots of people would tell me all the time, why don't you capitalize off your YouTube channel? Why don't you ask for donations? I don't know, man. I just don't really feel comfortable asking people for money and shit. I'm just, weird like that. I have no idea. But, it's just, when I became homeless, the day, my family found my channel, I had a lot of shit going on, for months and months. I knew I was going to be homeless last January, and I didn't really prepare for it as hard as I should have. Lots of things, for example, I got COVID in October, near Halloween, and, I wasn't planning on that. I was kind of scared. I was like, oh shit, because, setting up a doctor's appointment, I never did that in my life. My parents always did that shit for me.
Well, it's just COVID, man. Really? Would you set up a doctor's appointment if you got the flu or the cold? Whatever. That's fucking kind of stupid.
And I had to grow up really quick, and unfortunately, I did turn to alcohol just to, sort of ease the stress, of everything that was going on. But, aside from getting blackmailed by an IRL friend, I had a bunch of people finding out about my channel in my personal life, and it was only a matter of time, I suppose, before my family kind of stumbled upon it. I had my own community trying to dox me, which I can't be fucking completely oblivious to, because when you have a YouTube channel talking about how ugly you are, of course people are gonna have any excuse or reason to want to face dox you. Of course.
Okay, well, but that's not the, okay, for those of you who haven't watched his other videos, no, they probably wanted to dox him because he talks so much shit about friends and family in the other videos. And I'm not saying necessarily they don't deserve it, but I remember him telling a story of the first time his channel got discovered by friends and they found out how much, he was shitting on them, and he lost all those friends. And it's yeah, Is that a surprise? I mean, doesn't that just make perfect sense? It's just basic cause and effect. You know, you could just say it's karma if you're one of those types of people.
People are curious. But, you know, the day I became homeless, I will say, you know, I really thought about, because YouTube was the only thing I was ever good at in my life, you know. I really thought, like, long and hard about it. You know, that day that my mom kicked me out, I was supposed to be living in my car, like, you know, weeks after this, but, you know, after she found my channel, it was kind of like, and like all the drama and shit, my mom was like, you know, just, you gotta go now, you know. And I just remember sitting in my car, I was scared to death, you know. That's kind of when my alcoholism, like, really kind of kicked off. But, you know, I was just scared. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do, you know. And, you know, being in New York City, I stayed there for a month, which was complete hell on earth, you know. I had fucking crackheads banging on my window. I thought it would be easy, but it wasn't. You know, I got overnight parking tickets, shit like that I had to pay off. And, you know, I was doing DoorDash and Domino's. I was doing Domino's part-time, and I was doing DoorDash. And I remember the first week I did DoorDash, I made a pretty decent buck. I almost made like $2,000 that first week. And, you know, those guys, I mean, the thing is, too, like, New York City, like, it is highly competitive with, like, Uber Eats and DoorDash and stuff like that. Like, you'll see, like, some dude on, you know, because those e-bikes are everywhere, and, like, you'll see some dude just, like, speeding down the fucking, you know, the sidewalks, you know, with a DoorDash bag, and while you're sitting in your car in traffic, you know, and you're like, oh, they're
on subtitles. Guys, I don't think it's that hard to understand, but sure. Well, hold on one second. I think this lobby, even though it's only been 6 minutes, I think it bugged out. Hold on, because I remember seeing something in the corner. I think, like, usually when someone drops out when it's trying to connect, it just breaks the lobby. I don't know why, because the game's a piece of shit. That's why.
It goes, you know what I mean? But it was enough to pay my car, you know, car insurance, which was fucking insanely high. It had always been high. You know, I was paying like almost $1,000 near the end there before I met this guy. And my second car was a Toyota Avalon. I paid $700 for it, and I had to like learn a lot of shit like that, you know, in my life. You know, like the short, tiny time. I did go to school in December. While I ended up moving completely and getting a job in construction. I got really lucky with that. And I went to school at first I went to school for plumbing, but then I switched to CDL because it just wasn't for me. It would take too long. And that's what I'm doing now, you know, thank God. But you know, it was scary. You know, it really was at first. You know, I had a lot of shit go down. I thought about deleting my channel for months, you know, like ever since like last winter was when more and more people kind of started in my personal life started finding out about my channel. And when you put yourself out there like that, you know, especially like in general, like let's say you're at work and you're just kind of getting really personal, like people will like use shit against you. You don't want to be.
It's so interesting how, you know, people have just found out about his channel twice, you know. I mean, granted, he's out there in the world talking to people, but me with 150K, I've never, the only reason anyone in real life knows about my channel is because my mother tells them. They would have never found out normally otherwise. But it's literally, it's just 'cause my mom just used to tell random people.
You don't want to show your vulnerabilities as a man at all, because people will see you as weak, all that type of shit, and it's just not good. You know, that's why like nowadays with like all the shit I went through, like I don't talk to anybody. I don't have a reason to. You know, I changed my number twice because like I'll get into that shit soon too, but you know, I haven't contacted anybody in my family except for my cousin. Like a few months ago, I had to live with her because I fractured my feet, which I'll talk about. Which that was a fucking blessing in disguise, by the way, because like this new gig I got, basically what I do nowadays for a living. I drive this truck for this beer distributor. Like we basically load the shit up, fucking
yeah, that's what I heard.
Take the invoices, shit like that. Bring it to a store. I got my partner, and we just drop it off and like we just do the routes all day. You know, it's pretty. I mean, it's a little stressful. Like at first, it was really really stressful, but it's okay. You know, one day I kind of want to drive an 18-wheeler because those motherfuckers make bank. But this will do for now. The problem I have though is like I get way too comfortable way too quick with like things. You know, like when I was living at home in New York City, you know, before I basically had to move and live in my car, I would just lay in bed all day and just do nothing. You know, I would hang out with this one guy who just would ask me for money all the time and ended up blackmailing me a little bit for it. I don't really want to get into that at all because it was like pretty traumatizing for me. And I just didn't like the direction my channel was going in, you know, especially with the amount of traction it got. I really just made this channel just to vent. You know, I even remember my one friend saying like, it's like, dude, why don't you capitalize off this? You know, like just fucking ask for donations, do this, bro. Like we'll get a trap house together and we'll be the next Kai Cenat, bro. You know, me and these other guys that, you know, I went to high school with, he was like, yeah, we'll fucking desktop stream, bro. And like, You know, the day that I became
Yeah, the incel channel's gonna be the next Kai Cenat. Yeah, that makes sense. What a fucking normies are so retarded sometimes. Holy shit. I'm fucking annoyed actually.
homeless, you know, living in my car, I really thought about it long and hard. You know, like I was really thinking because, you know, YouTube was the only thing I was good at. But I realized, you know, like when you look at guys like fucking, you know, Wings of Redemption, who are, you know, you're 400 pounds, sitting in a chair all day long, getting trolled by teenagers, you know, just e-begging constantly, you know, or like DSP, or like, you know, you look at people like fucking World of T-shirts who are just not fit to be content creators that are just like, I really feel bad for that guy, man. You know, I really feel bad for World of T-shirts. And I was thinking, you know, like, first off, like, I wouldn't ever make enough money to even, like, support myself, I would suppose. I mean, anything can happen. You know, you can get banned at any moment. You can get fucking turned into a lolcow real quick, especially with, like, the type of content I make. Of course that would happen, you know?
Yep.
And, you know, like, just, I don't know, being a...
Does DBDR have a Kiwi Farms page? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Lobbies are bugged right now. I just disconnected 3 times in a row. Well, we might move to Doom the Dark Ages then. Like I said, I was going to play a little bit more for the review. I might as well be productive this stream. Let's see. Hold on. Well, I'll wait till it disconnects. If it disconnects, then we'll move on. But I do want to listen to some more of this.
Content creator just doesn't really seem worth it. You know, you get hit with like people fucking with you, you get hit with bullshit allegations, it just doesn't seem worth it to me. So like I kind of was like, you know what, like this just has to come to an end, man. You know, like it really just does. Like I have to like actually get my life together and find like an actual stable career. That's all I really ever wanted.
I'm Brazilian, so I don't know, why do people from the USA kick their kids out of their home when they turn 18? Because our society was brainwashed into making everyone buy houses, or just, I mean, it became, I honestly don't know the origins of the propaganda, but at some point people just decided that, you know, if you're not self-sufficient, then it's unattractive, basically, you know? The whole idea of, oh, you live with your mother, you're a fucking loser. I mean, you still hear that all the time, pretty much all the time. In my case, I could easily afford to live on my own. It's just that I feel like it would just make me more miserable, so... Hold on, did more people just disconnect from this fucking lobby? Yeah, it's...
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Fuck this
Brian C
stupid
might be
fucking
right.
game.
I think the lobbies might be fucked. We'll try one more time. Started in the 60s. I asked my family about it. Yeah, when all the boomers were buying up houses. I guess it would have been a little bit later for the baby boomers, but like the silent generation. No, I guess the oldest baby boomer. No, that wouldn't make sense. Whatever. Anyway, the point is, Sophia, you need to lay down. Sophia, it's okay.
You know, that's another reason why I never kind of like monetized anything or capitalized on this, because, you know, I'm a very boring person. Like I thought about live streaming and just full face revealing. I was like, you know what, fuck it. Again, the only thing I'm good at, and especially since I was living in New York City, I'm like, you know, it's the best place to fucking do IRL and shit. But, you know, I wanted more for my life, honestly. You know, I didn't really want to be known as like this fucking idiot, especially because, you know, I you know, developed a drinking problem. It would just be a fucking absolute shit show, you know, and I just didn't want that for my life, you know. And like the whole month of August up until like maybe mid-September, I was still in New York City. I was paying fucking $1,000 for my car, you know, in car insurance, which is ridiculous. You know, it was almost $1,000. So I had to sell it. You know, I had to basically get rid of it. And I bought a Toyota Avalon from this one dude. That was my second car. I have an SUV now, which was, again, like pretty cheap, and the insurance is cheap. But even when I moved, you know, when I fucking went to Iowa, I remember talking to this landlord, and the guy's like, oh yeah, $1,200, you know, you could get an apartment. And like just thinking now too, like, holy fuck, I could have like been living in an apartment, you know, by myself instead of like sleeping in a car. But like I always ask myself, like, do I even want an apartment? Like, I know you need an address for certain shit, but like, you know, I've been using a PO box. I haven't had any problems. Like when people ask, I just say like, oh, I just don't feel comfortable giving.
See, that the true man life. I don't need anything. I'll just live in my car. Who cares about actually having a home and security or something? Yeah, he's definitely adapted to the Bugman life, that's for sure. That's kind of depressing, but I guess on some level I understand it. I don't know what to say about that. That's fucking... Yeah, that's not a good thing to be used to.
Giving my address, even though I don't have one. And, you know, it's been working out. Like, even when I got my job in construction, you know, I got really lucky with that, you know. And, you know, the thing about my drinking, too, man, like, first off, that completely ruined my life. I'm on a medication right now for it. I know people are probably going to think I'm a pussy for that, but, you know, my whole family essentially struggles with alcohol, and I don't want to see myself, like, ruin my life. But the funny thing is, it's such a double-edged sword, because I wouldn't have nearly accomplished as much as I did if I didn't, like, have those drinks, you know. Like, I wouldn't have been, like, as low inhibition and more, like, motivated. So it's like really hard, you know. It really is hard. But yeah, I take this thing, it just blocks the cravings completely, and so far so good, you know. I told myself too, if I ever want to come back to YouTube, I will never drink again, you know, because, like, fuck that, you know. You're not in, like, even when you're hungover too, you don't realize it, but, like, your head's still fucked up and, like, foggy, and you're not, like, 100%, you know. But yeah, you know, like, I did, like, over the summer too, like, in that whole month of, like, August and, like, a little bit of September, I'll talk about this shit, like, maybe in a future video, but I did go clubbing for the first time. Like, I would do that shit every day too, like, or, like, almost every day with, like, a high school friend. Like, he knew I was living in my car. I would be able to stay over his house sometimes. But, you know, like everyone in their 20s now kind of, like, lives with their parents anyway. Like, this economy is straight shit, you know, like, it really is. So I was allowed to stay with him a couple times. And it, you know, this whole clubbing experience, like, we would go to Coney Island, you know, to the beach and shit. He would, you know, just get, like, a bunch of numbers, and, like, I didn't even give a fuck. Like, at that point, I was just, like, so defeated, like, and now, like, I've pretty much given up on dating. You know, I had pretty much, like, a taste of what a relationship would be like. I quote unquote dated this girl, you know, late August for, like, 2 weeks, which let me fucking tell you, man, I now know what it's like to be fucking married, because I never had sex with her, I never kissed her. The whole funny part about it is, you know, my friend,
I'm like, where's he going with this? I see. Yeah, he dated a chick that he never kissed. Yeah, okay, all right. Okay.
he was talking to this one chick, and her friend, she's 28 years old, red hair, short, you know, basically my looks match. You know, I wasn't attracted to her at all, and she wasn't attracted to me. We only had, like, 2-second long conversations, and, you know, she didn't have a license, didn't have a job. She was on some sort of, like, government assistance, and, like, during that last few days of, like, before I literally left New York City, fucking, she kept saying over and over again, like, mind you, like, I haven't even known her that long, and we don't even, like, talk normally. I barely, like, I'm just fucking awkward. Like, I've never been in a relationship before, or I don't even know if this is like a oofy doofy beta bucks relationship. You know, she would ask me for money all the time, like this one guy who fucking, you know, blackmailed.
Dude, why is this guy such a fucking sucker, man? How has he learned nothing? He's just, because I know he hasn't confirmed he's giving her money, but really, there's no way you tolerate that he gave her money. It's obvious that he gave her money. Okay, there's no way. He doesn't have to confirm or deny that he did. The fact that he was around her and he mentioned that she kept asking for money, he gave her money. What a fucking retard. It's like he paid a prostitute then didn't even get sex. Why is he this stupid after all the shit he's been through? I don't understand. Like, I've listened to this guy for at least a couple years. I don't understand why he's still like this. Why is he even talking about this stuff? That's like the whole point of his channel, is he just talks about all his life problems. Conceptually, in the 60s, it was because you were supposed to have a wife, kids, and a house in your very early 20s, and it was a nudge, but as the years progressed, it became unrealistic. Yeah, there's still the societal stigma, obviously, of living with your parents.
Me. And I just realized, like, you know, I'm like, no one really has respect for me, man, you know, like, at all.
Why would they? People keep asking you for money, and I bet you're giving it to them. Why would they respect you? This is unbelievable. This is, I honestly, like, why listening to this guy is just like watching a train wreck. Like, you really can't feel bad for him after a certain point, because he keeps doing stupid shit over and over again. You know?
And she ended up just saying, she's like, you know, she turned 29. And
oh, okay, so it disconnected. All right, fuck it. I want to just... I want to just keep listening to this, and then we're not going to do a video watch segment, so don't give me any fucking money. But, we are going to play Doom. I know no one wants to see it, but we're going to play a little bit more Doom Dark Ages. Sorry, chat. Feel free to bail. You have my permission to leave.
And, you know, it's her birthday. She's like, I'm going to be 30 soon. Let's get married. Let's have kids.
What?
I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, I haven't even kissed you. We haven't even hooked up. Nothing like that, dude. Like, what the fuck? You know, she was in this shithole apartment with her mom. And I would stay over there sometimes. And, when she started saying that, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to become an oofy doofy. Like, this is how you get entrapped in this oofy doofy shit. So, like, I just told her one day, I'm like, I'll be right back. You know, I was over her house, and, like, I just, like, fucking had it, you know, like, because I cannot stand New York City, man. I feel bad for you.
No fucking way. He said, I'll be right back. Like, he's like, I'm going to go out and buy some cigarettes. And then he never goes, come on. This is what I'm saying. You know what? Actually, I like listening to this shit, because it makes me feel less bad about myself. You know, that's literally the only reason why I like listening to this. Because, like, as fucked up as I am, I would never do anything like this. In a million fucking years, I would never do something like this. Like, come on. Please, God. I know he's younger than me. I don't remember how much younger. He might be around, like, 25 or something. I don't quite remember. Maybe someone will know his age. But, holy fuck, please. Just, like, be an adult or something. Like, God damn.
Guys who fucking live in New York City, there's a lot of, like, malicious, just, like, fucking freaks over there, man. And, you know, I just left. I fucking changed my number. And, like, and still at that time, I was in contact with my parents a little bit. Like, my dad, believe it or not, my dad was fucking so pissed about my YouTube channel. I fucking had this video. Forgot what it was called. It was, like, something like Drunk Dad on 4th of July or whatever the fuck. And the thing is, my grandmother passed away, like, during the same time. You know, my grandmother on my dad's side fucking passed away. And, you know, how my dad was describing it, he's like, you know, your grandmother, you know, she's dead, kid. I'm like, what? You know, and he's like, yep. And he's telling me, because my grandmother, she was a chain smoker. She literally smoked with an oxygen tank. I swear to God, I'm not even making this shit up. She would smoke cigarettes with a fucking oxygen tank. And my dad just goes, yeah, she fell on the floor, started throwing up liters of blood. I tried to give her CPR, didn't work, and
Jesus.
She's dead. And he's just going, because, you know, my dad's 70 years old. He was a teenage pregnancy, and, like, he had my grandmother, like, his whole life. And he's just telling me, he's like, I don't give a fuck if I die. When I die, don't even have a funeral. No one would show up anyway. I don't give a shit. Blah, blah, blah. And, like, I don't want to hear that shit, you know, from my, like, you know, I love my dad, you know what I mean? And it's like, holy shit, like, you know, I did want to live with him to see if I could. And he's like, no, this homeless shit's gonna fucking, you know, sleep in your car. It's gonna man you up. And honestly, he was fucking right, man. He really was right. Because, like, I had to act fucking fast, you know? I was kind of, like, okay, because I knew, like, I would be able to pay my car off, you know, every month with the DoorDash if I just worked, like, a week or two. And I was still doing Domino's part-time. But when I took that risk to fucking go to Iowa, I was, like, kind of scared because I'm like, fuck, well, DoorDash kind of isn't really consistent. And, you know, I remember just, like, walking all over the place. I would drink a little bit, and then I just, like, spend the whole day just walking around, going to jobs and shit. And I remember applying to this store called Aldi's. I had an interview, and I was just like, you know, I pulled up, and there's all these people standing against the wall. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And they basically go like, oh yeah, we're all getting interviewed. I'm like, I didn't get this job. Like, you know, I didn't fucking get this job. And that's kind of how, like, I just randomly stumbled upon this construction site. And they'll take anybody, bro. Like, if you're fucking lost in life, I mean, I know it's, like, it's physically taxing. It sucks, but my coworkers were okay. Like, we would drink beer all fucking day. You know, we'd pull up with, like, a 12-pack of something. It would be like a kid on Christmas. It was, like, the funniest shit. And that's the environment you kind of need if you're a lonely guy, like, with no fucking, like, nothing to lose. Like, you need other guys like you know, because, like, it was a fun time for the time being, you know. I basically, since I had that job, I just fucking completely stopped paying my phone bill, turned that shit off completely, because I was like, fuck, I don't have to do DoorDash anymore. And I just kind of really focused on work and getting my CDL. It was stressful, like, don't get me wrong, but I put on a lot of fucking weight, man. Like, I want to say, like, I would say I'm probably 250 something, I think. I don't even want to step on a scale, because, like, what I would do is, like, you know, when you're keeping that, like, little buzz on all day at work.
If I recall correctly, he's 5'11". He always thought he was over 6 foot because his mom, the original story, I believe, was his mom always brainwashed him into thinking he was 6'1" or 6'2" or something. And then he finally got his height measured, and he was 5'11". So that he's definitely fat. 5'11", 250. That's, yeah, he's definitely fat for sure.
You know, everyone's, like, kind of drinking on break and shit, you know, all those empty calories. And plus, like, I was too lazy to cook. You know, I have this butane stove, and, like, essentially what I would do, I would go to Wingstop every day. They have this absolute sloppo combo deal. It's like you get 20 boneless wings and, like, it's this big basket of fries. It's like fucking 5,000 calories. And I would just stuff my face with that shit every night and just like sitting in my trunk, just fucking, you know, drinking beers, you know. And it was, I mean, it was something. It was fun, you know. I know it sounds depressing, but like, I mean, that's how I kind of gained weight, you know. I do like now still like I shave my head all the time because like I do remember like I made a video like last year like with like concerns about my hairline, which I kind of thought was like because the doctor was like, you're severely nutrient deficient in a lot of stuff, and I was like, okay, maybe that explains why my hair's falling out. Like at that time too, like I was trying to fucking look smack, I can't even talk. Look smacks, Jesus Christ. Just being a fucking idiot, bro, because like I don't care about like the way I look now. Like at this point, I just want to look as defeated as possible so people don't fuck with me, man. Like I've had some crazy shit happen to me. I had a fucking gun pulled on me back in February. And like the beginning of February, this fucking, oh my God, this shit was so bad. This is another reason why I quit drinking, because that could have easily been avoided, by the way. But I was fucking hammered. My fight or flight response was completely turned off. And this guy, like, they were trying to get my pin out of my fucking, like, out of my card. And I kept giving them the wrong pin. And the guy, he's like, open your mouth. And he literally puts I swear to God, puts the fucking gun in my mouth.
What?
And I was just like, you know what, just fucking shoot me. Just fucking shoot me, dude. Like if you take all my shit, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm dead anyway. And anything could happen. Like, they could have took my car. Like, you don't know, dude. Like, people are fucking goddamn nuts and malicious nowadays. That's why, like, I stay away from people. I avoid people like the plague. I can't trust anybody. Like, I stay clear of fucking drama. I don't, like, you do you. You know, like, I don't trust a soul now. You know, so, like, that happened. And one of the guys was like, let's just go, you know. And it didn't even, like, hit me until, like, the fucking next morning. Like, I think about that shit all the time. I'm like, holy fuck, because I know people say, like, this shit, like, this corny shit. Like, oh, if you act crazy, bro, people won't shoot you. Like, you'll see it in the movies. Like, they'll act all crazy, the main character, if they get a gun pulled on them. Like, no, they will blow your hairline off. They will blow your bald spot off. They don't give a fuck. People are malicious and fucking crazy now, you know? So, yeah, I mean, fuck, and that's another reason why I quit the internet. Like, it's just not even worth it. Like, people are fucking malicious. I just, you know, I'd rather just have a peaceful...
Okay, well, I feel like there's, like, a huge gap between the shit he just talked about and what happens online. Like, who gives a fuck what the words on a screen say? Who gives a fuck if you monetize your channel or not? Might as well. I mean, it's just extra money. I guess it's one thing to ask for donations, I suppose. I can understand maybe the moral quandary there, but was his old channel monetized? I don't quite remember. If not, he could have at least gotten a little bit extra money out of that. There's almost no reason not to do it. Someone says it was. I mean, YouTube will put ads on the not properly monetized channels, so I don't know if necessarily that would confirm it or not. I don't know. Did he say if his channel was monetized? He said he did. Okay.
Free fucking life away from like fucking drama and shit, you know. Like, I never wanted anything out of this channel. I really didn't. I just wanted a place to vent, because yeah, like, just being told to shut the fuck up my whole life and not having a fucking support system, you just, like, you go crazy, man, you know. So that's kind of why I opened up this channel in the first place, to you know, like, just have a place to vent and like help you guys out, you know. I'd rather have a small niche community of, like, you know, guys who are struggling to just like relate. That's literally just it, you know. But yeah, man, like, that shit was fucking scary. I remember when I was driving to Iowa as well, I was in Virginia, and I was followed to my car by these people. It was like late at night, and I was at 7-Eleven. I got this Brazilian bold coffee, that shit's like literal crack, man. Like, I swear to God, like, that shit will keep you up for days, you know. If you're ever near a 7-Eleven and you have that coffee available, it's like crack, bro. But I remember too, like, I had this uneasy feeling. I knew I wasn't in like the best area, and I just had this weird feeling, you know. Especially too, I guess, you know, since I still have New York plates, right? Like, people are gonna be like, oh, this guy's fucking, he don't know shit here. He doesn't know anything, you know. He's not a fucking like resident here. And yeah, these guys, they were like, hey buddy, can you help me? Can you help me? And I just kept walking to my car, and I'm like, nope, thinking in my head, I'm like, nope, you don't need help with shit. Like, what do you need me for? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, I'm not fucking stupid. Like, if people in general like show any interest in me, I know like there's an ulterior motive. Like, what would you possibly want from like a subhuman fucking ass guy like me? Nothing. So they keep saying it. They're like, oh, we need help. Help me. Can you help me a little bit? Like, and I can hear them getting fucking closer. So when I got to my car, I just locked it immediately, and the guy, like, right as I fucking locked it, tries to open the fucking door, and just starts like slapping the window. Hey buddy. And like someone stood in front of my car, so I just drove off, you know. And the guy just like kind of like stepped to his right, and I was like, fuck, like, I needed a fucking drink after that one, dude. Holy fuck. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I didn't plan for, you know, while being homeless. Like, I was always scared I was gonna lose my glasses and shit, because, you know, my vision's fucking dog shit. and you know, I have to wear glasses, and that was another fear I had. Like, and I'm lucky I didn't lose them, because like I've been drunk many a times, not like really blacked out, but just like drunk, and like I could have lost them. Like, you don't want to drink. I know Rehab Room had a really good quote about that. Like, you don't want to drink more than you have to, because like you let your guard down so much. Like, especially people like me who like can't really stop after one drink. You don't know what kind of drunk you're gonna get. Like, when I'm completely sober, I'm down to earth. I don't care about like socializing. I don't want to talk to nobody. But like when I'm drunk, like sometimes I'll get like real fucking manic, and like either like you don't know what kind of drunk you're gonna get. It's like Jekyll and Hyde, like swear to God. But yeah, that's another reason like why I stopped drinking. Like so many things could have happened to me. You know, I'm kind of grateful and lucky for that. You know, because yeah, it really just has not been fucking easy for me. Things are kind of good now, and like I still think like should I even like what would even be the point of getting an apartment? Because like, you know, I'll find like a nice neighborhood to like basically.
This guy really is justifying living in his car. And what else are you gonna do with the money? I mean, maybe he's saving up the money for something, but it doesn't sound like it. If you can afford to live in a proper home, you probably should, instead of living in your car when you're just talking about these stories about creepy weirdo fucks who want to mug you or murder you or whatever the hell. I mean, really? Is that not a good enough reason to live in an apartment? This is what I'm saying. This is just bizarre. The way I just ugh. He was definitely sucking to survive. No, it sounds like he has the money. He just said earlier that he has the money to live in an apartment. He doesn't see the point. It's like, how do you not see the point when you're talking about these fucking weirdos and shit? And he said there was crackheads trying to break into his house in New York and stuff. It's like, dude, what? Why do you like? I don't know. Never mind. It's kind of pointless to explain this.
Basically sleep behind, and you know, like it just like I'll find like different spots. It's like kind of like a system I have. Like you don't want like too many cars, but like you don't want like fucking none, if that makes sense. Like you don't want to draw attention to yourself. Like you don't want to let anybody know you're homeless and like living in your vehicle.
Yeah.
What else? Oh yeah, I had this pretty good spot. It was like this 7-Eleven, and there's like these 2 vacant lots in like the strip mall, and like behind it was like this kind of like little cul-de-sac. And there's like a bunch of trees and shit. It was like really well hidden, and I would just park my fucking car there, and I literally slept there for a month, no problems. Until like one of the owners of the 7-Eleven was like, "What are you doing? You know, like what are you doing?" So I just kind of like had to find a new spot. But like when things are like kind of when you're in your comfort zone and shit, like it gets easier. Like it's really hard doing new things for me, like for sure. Like I will say that, but. Yeah, man, like a lot of shit happened. Like, especially, you know, when I got sick, especially when I got a physical. I want to make a video on this too. I got diagnosed with this disorder called Klinefelter syndrome. It's like a hormonal imbalance.
Oh shit, he
has
has Klinefelters?
Like delayed puberty. I had really delayed puberty.
Well,
I used to talk
fuck.
about that a lot.
All right.
And that was probably
that might
the reason why I got picked
explain
on, you know, being the only
some of this.
You know, fucking redheaded kid with like because I remember like just one day randomly I just had like this fucking growth spurt. It was like my senior year. I didn't have like any facial hair at all, no armpit hair, nothing. And just one day I just had puberty, you know, like that, like really delayed. And when I was like looking up all the shit from that, like the what's it called, like the symptoms of it, I'm like, this really explains a lot, like, you know, why I was picked on so much.
All right, hold on. I want to make sure I get this right, since there's a lot of people asking about Klinefelter syndrome. Let's see. Klinefelter syndrome. It's a genetic condition that occurs when a male has an extra... Oh, he's an XXY chromosome. That's what it is. So, yeah, it never began for him, actually, unironically. Yeah, he's an XXY. That's literally like the soy boy, the gross, like, fat soy boy. Like, you can just look it up. Look it up in Google. Yeah. Yeah, he's fucked. Yeah, literal genetic freak. XXY. Yeah, let's see. Some of the shit... Yeah. Does that make me regret what I said? No, I mean, I always figured he was a true cell. People deny it because, like, oh, dude, you're 5'11", but he's an actual mutant. He has an extra chromosome, as they say. He unironically has an extra chromosome. So yeah, no, he is a true cell, absolutely, without a doubt.
Much and why, you know, shit's been hard for me. I'm not using that as an excuse or anything, but like it just kind of like put two and two together, especially like the thing too. Like I thought the doctor was fucking scamming me because, you know, I had a cancer scare back in 2021. This guy thought I had some blood cancer because a marker in my blood showed something. And I was like, fuck, do I have cancer? And then like, you know, running a bunch of tests, just like running up the insurance. I remember me and my mom were like, what the fuck? Like, why do we keep like doing this if it isn't cancer? You know what I mean? I thought this guy, like I literally took my shirt off and the dude goes, I think you have Klinefelter syndrome. And I'm like, what the fuck are you, like, I didn't even know what that was. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he was talking
yeah,
about
because he saw the soft man titties and he's like, that doesn't quite look right.
You know, he could give me there's this place I could go to get a free consultation for, you know, to get my testosterone levels checked. And then like if my testosterone levels were low, which they were dangerously fucking low. And the only reason I did that too was because like, I know like those MGTOW, like red pill copers, they'll fucking say all the time, like, oh, the reason why you guys are so depressed is because, you know, your testosterone levels are low. And honestly, yeah, I mean, holy shit. Like the guy was, you know, after my testosterone levels came back, he gave me like another test and he's like, yeah, you have it. And, you know, he told me this clinic to go to. I get these testosterone vials every week. You know, which I mean, that's a pain in the ass doing. I hate doing it. You know, like there's a woman that does it for me, like when I go there, and then I have to do it myself. But I'm telling you, within 2 weeks, this guy was saying like, oh, within a few months, you're going to see your quality of life improve. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's placebo or what, but I had like so much more fucking energy. I'm like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically getting TRT to be what he's supposed to be. Because XXY is one of the least dangerous of the chromosome mutations, from what I remember. I remember Devin was telling me about it because he studied some of this shit when he was in college. But yeah, so that's good. At least he's getting that taken care of.
You know, I just couldn't believe it. You know, I was just like, wow. But yeah, like even setting up doctor's appointments, yeah, like because my mom would always do that for me. Like I had to learn how to do that shit. They thought I was a fucking idiot for not being able to fill out the paperwork and like asking a bunch of questions. This video's kind of getting long, so I kind of want to wrap it up. But yeah, like I don't know, I've just been through like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's the other part. Krusty Busty probably has a micro penis. I mean, I don't know if he's admitted to that, but yeah, that is one of the symptoms.
I haven't even covered like a fraction of it. But yeah, that was a surprise to me. It's not like it's not life threatening, you know, what I have at all. But you know, it's just something I got to deal with for the rest of my life. And you know, the thing is too, like I always ask myself like every day, like what's the end goal for me? Like what's gonna actually, because you know, just like the mediocrity and boredom, especially since I don't drink anymore, like I'll just fucking come back to my car like right after I fucking finish up work, and I'll just sit there and just that's it. Like I'll just sit there and stare. Like I just have to find like new copes and shit, because like I know I'll never have a normal life, unfortunately. Like I'll never have friends and family and shit like that, a relationship, because I just cannot get close to people because they always end up like turning on me, you know, in some way. Like I do want a family one day, don't get me wrong. I know that's,
I mean, okay, wait a minute. Let's be fair. Let's go back a second. Let me rehear that.
like I'll never have friends and family and shit like that, a relationship, because I just cannot get close to people because they always end up like turning on me, you know. And
you turn on them too, asshole. What do you think the fucking channel did when you were talking shit about everybody you knew? So I was saying, you gotta have some self-awareness, please. I mean, like, how many of his videos were him just talking shit about his friends and family? It's like, they're not just turning on you. You're turning on them too, dude. Come on. Let's be real.
In some way. Like, I do want a family one day, don't get me wrong. I know that sounds like corny because it's like, well, I don't want to have a son, you know, especially since I have Klinefelter. Supposedly, like, you have, like, infertility issues. But I don't know, because, like, there's people, like, I've researched it a lot. Apparently, it's not, like, you could still have kids if you have Klinefelters. It's just, like, your sperm quality is, like,
okay, but you probably shouldn't have kids, though. I know it's mean to say that. But it's not about necessarily can you, but should you? No, you shouldn't. I know that's mean, but he shouldn't. Let's be honest.
Lower, it's just more difficult, but I don't want, like, to have a son instead of, you know, the doctor when the fucking kid pops out. I don't, instead of him saying, you know, is it a boy, you know, it's a girl, it's a boy, he's going to say it's over, you know, and then I don't want my son to go through everything.
Yeah,
through,
it's
you know,
over. Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of shit in my head that just repeats on a loop 24/7. Like, I wouldn't doubt if I have, like, severe PTSD. I really wouldn't, you know. And that's the thing too. Like, I love working because it gets my mind off shit. And especially, you know, my partner, like, he's pretty cool. You know, he's just as defeated and slopped as me. You know, he's like a few years older than me. And, you know, he's overweight and shit. He's not bald though, like me, but I don't know. I find it funny. And another thing I was thinking about too, you know, like the first like 2 months since I shower at Planet Fitness, I would just fucking get a razor and just shave my head like I don't know, like once a month or like every few weeks just to maintain it, you know, because like, yeah, I don't know. I did want to like try and get the mushroom like haircut over the summer, but yeah, it looked like shit. I ended up looking like a fucking ginger Jonah Hill off of Superbad. And the guy, like one of the fucking guys was like, did you shave your pubes in here? And because like all the fucking, the hairs are like all over the fucking floor, like these microscopic hairs. And I was like, no. It was just, I don't know, it's just like funny as fuck. I was like, oh shit, you know? Because it's, I don't know, it's like easy. You just like, I don't even care if I miss a spot. I really just don't give a shit, bro. Because it's like, it's about survival now. Like, I don't really care about my appearance. You know, like I said, I'd rather look like I have nothing.
You guys are right. Someone said in chat he's a low inhibition god. It's like, yeah, you're fucking shaving it in the Planet Fitness shower. Because he doesn't even have an apartment. So I guess he has to shave somewhere, right? Where else is he going to shave? In the fucking 7-Eleven bathroom? This is fucking... he has no cringe. He cannot cringe. That's his gift. Is that he doesn't have the ability to cringe at himself. I mean, God, I kind of wish I had that. Oh, yep, no shame, no shame at all.
To lose and have people like fucking try and take advantage of me, and especially since I'm like fat as fuck now, I'm like a fucking mini tank, you know, like I just, and like I'm relatively tall, I'm 5'11" and a half, so yeah, I don't know, people don't really bother me much, you know, anymore. You know, I got 2 phones, I don't have to answer them ever, you know, unless it's like, because I have a work phone, that's the only phone I answer. I don't talk to like any of my friends or family anymore. It's been fucking months, and like it's more peaceful that way. It works for me, and like unfortunately, like I have to live my life like this, you know, because you can't all have fucking sunshine and rainbows, you know. You got to fucking come to the reality of the fact that like there's no blue-pilled happy ending for most guys, and you just have to kind of come to terms and acceptance and make the fucking best out of it, you know what I mean? It's another reason why I like doing YouTube too, because like I was just like kind of happy to like, you know, vent about shit and relate to so many people and have so many people relate to me, you know. So should I have, I don't know, should I have capitalized off my channel and all that shit? I don't think so, man. You know, I think I made the right choice by getting my CDL, because I'm quite satisfied with what I'm doing, but, you know, the loneliness factor really does kick in, like, those days after work where I'm just sitting in my car just thinking, like, fuck, what could have my life been if I just had all this knowledge prior and was more independent? Because let me tell you, like, financial independence, it's pretty nice, you know, because you don't have to rely on anybody, you don't have to have any drama or bullshit in your life, and it's pretty good, you know, it really is good.
Okay, but my question is why? Why are you doing this? Like, do you even have a purpose to keep going, to keep existing? That's my question. Like, is he really fighting for anything? That's always my problem with a lot of this men go their own way stuff, is that, I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe to a point, people are just happy, like, doing whatever copes, you know, you know, if you make a bunch of money and you have no woman and no, like, other responsibilities other than taking care of yourself, I guess you could, oh, I'll go skydiving, I'll go fishing, I'll go, you know, hike a mountain or something, whatever the fuck, but I don't know. It just feels pointless. It seems completely pointless. In his case, he's not doing any of those things, you know? I mean, he's just existing. He's continuing to exist. I don't, it's just very depressing.
So, like, you know, the message I have to you young guys out there who just don't fucking, you know, like you're my age, you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life, and maybe you got a bullshit, you know, degree that you can't find work in because, like, just, I don't know why the fuck it's so hard to find jobs. Like, just go into a trade. You know, construction hires anybody. You know, I remember my fucking boss saying, like, I don't know why, you know, he's like, oh, your generation doesn't want to work anymore. I'm glad, you know, to have you here and shit. I need a young guy to fucking, you know, I know you're strong and da-da-da-da-da-da. So, you know, that was pretty cool.
Boomer retards always say the same stupid shit. This is not, like, Zoomers can't even work. I mean, yeah, a lot of them don't want to work, but, like, the ones that do want to work can't even fucking get the jobs.
And he even told me too, he's like, yo, if you fucking, for like a month or two, like you could go get like a certification to operate like heavy machinery. He's like, if you do that, you could be making fucking 6 figures, you know, for my company instead of what you're making now. And I'm like, why don't most guys do this? I mean, I kind of know why, because like, yeah, no one wants to do these like subhuman shit jobs. That's why the subhumans do them. But I feel like I kind of knew what I had to do with my life to like make it better. I mean, I wouldn't say like it's good now. Like I'm like under a lot of stress too. But like, yeah, at least I'm like financially independent and I don't have to like rely on anybody, and I'm kind of like secure in my job right now and shit. So, I mean, yeah, like, I don't know, that's like about it, you know. I don't know, I just like want to move past like all this shit, and like anyone from my personal life, like I don't have anything against you, like I have no ill will or like hatred towards you at all, you know. And for like any friends, like I apologize like if I ever did anything to you, and like vice versa, I forgive you, man. Like I just want to move past shit and just fucking live my life, you know. Maybe one day, you know, I'll reconnect with like my family and shit, because, you know, when I did break my feet, I was fucking you know, with my cousin for a bit, and that's when I found out one of my uncles died, you know. Like my family, you know, I don't know what happened. Like when I turned 24, like I just feel so old now, and I look old too. Like I'm looking like shit nowadays, and I just don't give a fuck, man. Like my
Mouse Utopia behavior, the beautiful check out of society and wasted time worrying about themselves. Yep. Yeah, that describes a lot. The beautiful, I mean, it's there's not exactly like a lot of one-to-ones in humanity, because usually the actual well-groomed people who are attractive will find mates, but like it does describe a certain subsection of neats and troons as well. The beautiful, yeah. Yeah, it's it's just another way of saying like lonely narcissists, depressed narcissist type people who just shudder away from society.
My face is always swollen and puffy. Like I look like fucking Nikocado Avocado, like when he was overweight, you know? And I know I can lose weight. I don't know. I just don't want to, man, at this point. Like I've been through it so much where I've been like, because this isn't the first time that I've been this big. Like I was really fat in high school and middle school up until like the end where I had this growth spurt. It just kind of like, I just kind of evened out a little bit. But I know I can do it. Like I'm fully capable. It's just really hard to stick to like diets and shit like that, you know? Because when you eat low calorie, you're just so fatigued. And since I have to like focus and like be on the road and shit, like,
okay, bro, you're not eating low calorie. You're 250 pounds. Shut the fuck up. That's a woman moment. You're not eating low calorie.
Like, fucking be brain dead. You know, I need to like stay alert and awake and shit in my surroundings. So, yeah, man. I mean, I don't really. There's like more stuff I kind of want to talk about, but like that'll probably be for another time. You might not hear from me for months. Who knows? But I also want to say thank you, you know, to you guys fucking watching the shit who've supported me, because, you know, when I did initially leave, I was very shocked at the amount of people that actually like really missed me. That was actually nice. And like all the tribute videos and shit, that was really nice, you know? And, I'm grateful for every one of you guys, and just, thanks for watching, you know?
I want to read some of these comments. I'm wondering if they're thinking the same shit I'm thinking. We are so back. Did anyone else have a mom who made them do all the wrong things in life? Be nice to everyone, be a pushover. Your youth is important. Women are angels, don't fight back. Not exactly, in my case. Not exactly. Let's see, dating is lame these days. What skin color were the people who asked you for help, lol? Yeah. Let's see. Fucking Poir. I knew it. Poir already admitted that he harassed DBDR. Here it is right here. There's this right-wing YouTuber called Synthetic Man who wants... Alright, you know, Poir, you're really pushing me to ban you, dude. I never said I wanted DBDR on Chudcast. So you're literally just gonna lie like a fucking fat... Yeah, you need to take a break from the internet, buddy. I'm serious. It's time to stop, dude. You have a vid / timestamp of him saying that. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. It was during a previous podcast. Really? When did I say that, Poir? Which episode? You have to reach out to Synthetic Man on his emails, on his YouTube. Send him an email saying your DBDR. Yeah, at least people. He's acting like he's your agent. Yeah, I know. This is the parasocial shit I was talking about that makes me deeply uncomfortable. My life sounds exactly like yours before you got your shit together. My life hasn't gotten better. Still jobless and kissless, hugless, handholdless virgin. You gotta love that. That's such a stupid acronym. Anyway, I recently got hired at Whole Foods Market in Times Square, New York City. It's going to be extremely hard for me because I'm, I can't remember what ND means, and 5'5" and ugly. I'm going to try to grind and maybe get into plumbing and then live on my own once I have enough money. I'm 21, turned 22 on May 30th. Okay, life's so shit. Can't stand being a low IQ cell and chopped. Post on TikTok and have 3,500 followers. Oh, neurodivergent. I see. Neurodivergent. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like some of these aren't really commenting on the type of shit I did. I mean, I understand why people don't want to be critical of DBDR considering he just came back. I mean, I'll be critical. You guys know me. I'll say my thoughts. But, yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's done a lot of stupid shit. Oh, here we go. I now know what it's like to be married. I never had sex with her. I never kissed her. Glad to see you still have your sense of humor. I always liked your content. Oh, never mind. He didn't comment. I wanted the woman story was the one I had the biggest problem with because like it was kind of the most stupid one. It kind of just said to me like he still hasn't evolved as a person to the point where people are still taking advantage of him. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. It's sad listening to that shit. Alright, yeah, these comments kind of suck. There's not really anything that interesting. No, I'm not gonna comment. I don't care to play more DBDR to filter out the normgroids. We could play a DBDR vid. I don't think I've seen his newest one, because didn't he release 3 back-to-back? Hold on. Let me see. Well, we can watch that for a little bit. Fuck it. It's something. Yeah, fuck it. Let's watch some of this. I'm not gonna watch all of it. I know we watched all of the last one, but I ain't gonna watch all of this one.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Today, I want to talk about why you should never lend people money. You know, why you should never ever lend people money. The mistakes I've completely made while just lending people money. You know, just trying to help people out, get them back on their feet. Because, you know, unfortunately, it all came kind of crashing down on me, and I ended up losing a substantial amount of money. Just by kind of being naive and, you know.
I don't understand. This is what I'm saying, and this is what he was implying this in like his first comeback video, that he gave away a bunch of money, including to like some woman who was his girlfriend supposedly, who didn't even kiss him or whatever. It's like, dude, how after all the stories he told on his old channel, how the fuck are you still like trusting random assholes? I don't understand this. What even creates a person like this? Mr. Zool, thanks to the 50 bucks. Hey man, haven't donated in a while, but been enjoying the content in Chudcast. Hope all is well. Yeah, things are pretty good. Thanks, man. Can you lend me $50 for Breaker's Gotcha? That's only 3 rolls, dude. it's $15 to roll the fucking gotcha. It's not even worth it. Just play the game and you'll get some tickets. Roll them for free.
Thinking, you know, if I'm a good person, I'll you know, and lend people money or give people money, I'll be like, you know, repaid for it somehow. You know, there's no way that like, you know, people are gonna, you know, there's no way a friend or a family member is gonna, you know, run off with my money. You know, just not naive, just complete thinking. You know, because I've always kind of given to people. Like I always kind of you know, put myself in other people's shoes, and like, you know, especially nowadays since I live in my car, I've seen a lot of homeless veterans and a lot of homeless people. I'm not gonna lie, like I will give people money sometimes here and there, but like, I mean, that kind of did backfire for me once, you know, months ago. There was this liquor store that I would go to, and this guy, you know, he'd always ask me for money, and like, you know, one time I gave him like a 20, and I was like, I remember saying to him, like, you know, if you want me to buy you alcohol, I'll buy you alcohol. He's like, no, I don't drink. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm thinking like, yeah, all right. But no, the guy would just fucking walk out and just go across the street to the McDonald's. And since I would go to that store a lot, I just kind of felt like I had to give him money. You know, he would just ask, and I just, you know, I was like, oh, fuck, you know, I'm making the same mistake again. And I do remember asking him, too. I'm like, why do you, you know, hang out at the liquor store when you don't drink? He's like, well, because, you know, most people who go to liquor stores, they spend cash. They don't really use their card. And I was like, all right, I guess that's smart. But, like, after a while, I just kind of stopped going there because I'm like, you know, I'm going to see this guy, and he's going to ask for money, and then I'm going to feel bad if I say no, and he's going to get all fucking pissed off and all that shit. So,
what the fuck? I don't understand. I don't get this shit at all. I don't get this shit. I don't understand. I feel like I need someone to explain why. Yeah, like he's like a cuck but with money. Yeah, he's a findom, guys. This is, I don't. I mean, why is he doing this? Like, literally, why? I don't get it.
I just like stopped going there. But, you know, it really sucked too because like just the amount of cluelessness I kind of had. Like, you know, I remember this was like maybe like 2 years ago. I had, you know, for the first time in my life lived with my father. And, you know, he would tell me all the time, he's like, you need to contribute. And I thought for sure, for some reason, you know, just living in bumfuck nowhere, I don't know how stupid I could have been, but I thought that I would get a job, like, within the snap of a finger, you know? If I just kept applying, I thought within, like, 2 weeks, I would have a job, when in reality, I went, like, 5 months unemployed, just losing so much fucking money. And it all kind of started out as, like, an innocent thing, like, me just saying, like, to my grandmother, who, you know, unfortunately passed away, I would tell her, like, you know, be like, oh, you know, I could go to the store and, you know, get you some cigarettes and some fucking beer and shit and Twisted Teas, because she liked those. And I would, you know, it got to a point where I was wasting maybe like $100 a day, you know, easy. You know, my dad would be like, oh boy, can you go out and run some errands and, you know, all that type of shit. And come to find out, you know, later that, you know, my dad has lied about a lot of things. He lied about how much money he was making. Apparently he hadn't worked in like 10 years, which I didn't really even know about. He would just, I don't know, because he, you know, he would drink a lot and just tell me a bunch of shit like, oh, I'm making $500,000 a year, buddy. Oh, you know, oh, I got cancer. And then 2 days later, like, oh no, I don't have cancer. Oh, like, just, you know, you can't really.
He should be asking his dad or his mother, like, how the fuck he has Klinefelters and never knew his whole life, because apparently he never got tested for any of that shit. It's like, you know, this is what I'm saying. Like, I do feel bad because he's one of those examples that was kind of just fucked. You know, born in XXY, so basically a gross, like, soy boy type of creature. At least he's, I guess, slightly above average height for what that's worth, but I don't think it matters much if you're a, you know, extremely low test male. But his parents are definitely pieces of shit. I do remember that from his stories. There's no doubt about that. So when he talks about that stuff, I am pretty sympathetic, and empathetic for that matter. But I just feel like, you know, if you've been mistreated, why the hell? I mean, maybe he's just desperate for any amount of affection, even if it's from men. But, like, why the fuck are you giving money to, like, random assholes? I don't understand this. That's the shit that's just not relatable on any level.
Rely on addicts. I mean, I learned that the hard way, especially, you know, don't give money to an addict. I'll talk about that in a bit. That's what kind of like ruined my life essentially. But, you know, it started out as that, you know, I would go out, I would run errands, you know, because my dad, you know, he didn't want to fucking, you know, I didn't want him to drive drunk, you know what I mean? And, you know, living in bumfuck nowhere in the middle of Georgia in this like fucking trailer fucking house, which you can't, it's funny too, because you can't even find this shit on Google Earth, you know, like it's not even, like no one ever goes out there that far. So not only was I wasting a ton of money on gas and like groceries and like beers and cigarettes, you know, I was just getting depressed, you know, like I couldn't find work. No one was hiring me at all. And I went through about maybe like close to 10 grand in that 5-month period. Because, you know, I had worked at this warehouse previously and I'd saved up a lot of money. I was doing a lot of overtime. I was working pretty much like every day. I would have like 1 day off a week. And I made a lot of fucking money, saved up a lot of fucking money. And I was just like, okay, well, I could spend some here and there. I'll find a job soon enough. And it never happened until the very end where, you know, I ended up working at this bookstore. I only worked like, I don't know, like 2 days. It was for like $9 an hour. It was shit pay. Like I would have never survived down there, you know. But I remember like my dad was flipping out. He's like, $9 a fucking hour? No, my God, you're never gonna fucking make it. What the fuck are you gonna buy with that? And I'll never forget this shit too. Like he literally was he was on the floor. Like, you know, when you're on fire, they tell you to stop.
You know, it's funny. I know this is pointless to point out, but so for those of you who are not in on the lore, right? His channel has been found out by people in his life twice, right? The first time were like his friends, and so he lost all his friends because they found out about all the stories where he kind of talked shit about him, right? The second time was, I don't know, 6 months ago, whenever he left, right? His parents found out and kicked him out, right? Or his mom kicked him out because he lived with his dad for a little while, then went back to his mom, and then his mom found out about the channel, kicked him out, right? And so he's living in his car. He refuses to get an apartment. And he's still talking shit. He's still talking shit. I mean, to be fair, he has a good reason to be spiteful at this point, I guess. But it's like, it is this kind of a case of he's just going to keep talking shit.
Stop, drop, and roll. He was fucking stop, drop, and rolling. Like, He was like, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God, that's fucking loser shit. Get a real job. Just like, I'm just like standing above him, just looking at him, just stop, drop, and rolling on the floor, just like flipping out over this shit. And he got up, you know, just like all angry, screaming at me. He's like, I think you need to go back to New York City with your mother and find a job there. This isn't working out. This isn't working out. And I left like that with absolutely zero fucking progress in my life and minus like 10 grand. Cause like I had saved up about like 30 grand, you know, from that job. And the smart thing for me to like, that I should have done honestly at that time would probably have been to just, I don't know, move to like a different state. Cause like New York City, you're paying like $4 grand a month for a shithole studio apartment. I don't know how people survive in the city. I really just don't. But I should have just fucking moved somewhere, got like a really cheap apartment with that amount of money and just like looked for jobs like that way in like an actual normal place, not like in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, like Hillbilly Central where everyone drinks and smokes fucking cigarettes, you know? Cause like
I mean, that's what he should be doing now. I mean, based on what he's currently doing, he's driving trucks, right? Though just delivery. He's not driving 16-wheelers or anything. But if he's making decent money now, he says supposedly he likes living in his car. This is from the first of his comeback videos, in case you weren't here for me reacting to that one. He says he likes living in his car, but he's had multiple scares where like a crackhead tried to break in. There's some dudes who wanted help or whatever from him that chased him to his car and shit. It's like, bro, you need like a home or something. Like you can't fucking, he's just asking to be murdered, you know, and something is gonna fucking happen. This is bad omens.
Get sick all the time over there. I had this mattress on the floor. They never turned the lights on at all ever because they didn't want to waste like any money and all that shit. It was like just poverty living, you know, and I just didn't like it. You know, it sucked. I mean, it was cool at first. It was like a new experience, a new environment. Because, I mean, if you didn't know, like, I pretty much grew up in the middle of nowhere for like the first 10 years of my life, like just bumfuck nowhere. And that's before I went to the city, you know, and yeah, like I thought it was cool at first. And then, you know, minus like 10 grand later, I just went home defeated to like the same exact, you know, place I was pretty much in, you know, just with like zero fucking progress made, just complete wasted time. You know, if I could go back, I probably just would have gotten an apartment and wouldn't have even like wasted my time with that at all, you know, because I don't know, like the thing is too, like I want to talk about this shit too. This was I think this was like kind of like around when I came back. I started talking to like, you know, some of my old friends again. And my one friend, you know, I used to call him my wingman. He moved out with his girlfriend and shit. He had massive credit card debt because he took out like so much in student loans. Like I'm not even kidding. Like the dude owed like almost like $250,000 in fucking student loans. Like that's how much he did, a 5-year degree. And he was trying to get an apartment with his girlfriend at the time. I don't think I ever talked about this, but there was a lot of stuff I couldn't talk about, you know, because of the sheer amount of people in my personal life kind of watching my fucking channel. But, you know, so essentially he was in credit card debt, like massive debt. He needed like $700. He's like, bro, please, you know, I need $700. Like, I'll pay you back, bro. I promise to God I'll pay you back. He's like, you know, I wouldn't do you dirty like that. And I believed it too, because I knew this guy since like middle school, you know. I grew up with this guy. And, you know, this was around like maybe this time, like last year. So I lent him $700, you know, because he didn't. The problem was like the landlord said that like if his credit gets worse, like he won't consider him like fucking, because he had like it was like a 400 credit score. I don't even know how the fuck you could like, you know, get an apartment with that. I really have no idea. But he's like, yeah, my credit's gonna tank after this and be like just so bad, bro. He's like, I need this apartment, bro. I'm trying to start a new life for myself. And he's like, trust me, like I'll return the favor, bro. Like I got you. Because the thing is, you know, this guy, you know, his dad essentially got him.
Yeah, I'm playing at 1.5 times speed because he's just talking too slow. Yes, for those of you just joining us. But yeah, I don't even know what to say about this shit. It's classic. You know, the guy $250,000 in debt as a girlfriend and then relies on ogre, you know, soy boy buddy. Again, no offense to him, of course. He can't help that he's a soy boy. He has an extra chromosome, quite literally, not even as an insult. But taking advantage of his ogre buddy, and of course doesn't pay him back because people love taking advantage of ugly, you know, loser, sucker people. So not too surprising, I guess.
Job because his dad knew people, you know, had the connections, of course, and he was making like $50 an hour just doing like practically nothing. It was just like a remote job, so he could like work anywhere. But I mean, that was the whole problem with it though. Like he essentially had to keep paying his fucking student loans off every month. Like there's like a certain quota and he couldn't meet it. And so yeah, I give him $700 or whatever the fuck, however much it was. And you know, I didn't really think much of it. And you know, a couple weeks pass, and essentially he was like, dude, you know, I'll give you the 700, and I'll give you an extra 500 if, you know, you drive the U-Haul. So basically it was like a 5-hour drive. I'm not going to say like what state it was that he moved to, but it was like a 5-hour drive. you know, he was following me. I was driving the U-Haul. You know, his girlfriend doesn't drive. I mean, nobody, really, like, nobody in New York City my age, like, drives at all anyway, because, like, everything's kind of walking distance. You just take the fucking subway, buses, and shit. I was, like, one of the few, like, only people that actually had my license that drove. But, you know, he's like, I'll give you $500, and, you know, if you just help me load and unload everything. So, you know, he basically starts a whole new life for himself, you know, moves in with his chick, and when I get there, you know, I unload everything, and he doesn't give me anything. He only gives me $100. He's like, I'll Venmo or Cash App you or PayPal you the rest of the money when I have it. And I was like, okay. So I didn't really, like, think much of it. I was like, there's no way he's gonna, like, screw me over or anything. And yeah, you know, I was such an idiot that I realized, like, you know, as I was driving back home, that $100 was pretty much gone. You want to know why? Because it was gas money, pretty much. And I ended up just losing more money, actually. And I just, you know, and I remember, like, you know, I hung out with him on the 4th of July and shit, and, like, this was when I had shaved my head, because it was sort of like, I don't know, it was like a stupid decision, but, like, now
he needs to just get to the part, like, what? You brought it up, and he's like, oh, but sorry, I still don't have it, man. Sorry, I'll have the money anytime now. Come on, get to that part.
I have to do it because my hairline's fucked, and I just, you know, I can't afford to have hair now, you know, it's just easy, like, while living in a car, you just fucking, you don't have to really shower that much. You know, I got, like, thinning in the back, and the temples are pretty fucked now, but, like, this is when I, like, freshly shaved it. And it was a mistake at the time, especially, like, when you know people. And I just remember him, like, taking him out to the strip club, and he was, like, fucking slapping my head, like, recording me, just slapping my fucking head. Didn't even, like, bring up anything with, like, the money he owed me or anything like that. And I remember it just pissed me the fuck off, you know, because not only that, like, earlier in the day, like, his fucking brother, like, he paid his brother $10 to fucking punch me.
It just has no self-respect at all. Zero. None. Why do you expect him to bring it up? You're the one who needs the money. You can't be like, hey, dude, I need the money, at least.
Me in the fucking head. He was supposed to, like, slap me, and he ended up just fucking punching me. And it's funny, too, because, like, you know, like, he had, like, these fucking...
Hold on, go back a second.
Like, he paid his brother $10 to fucking punch me in the fucking head. He was supposed to, like, slap me, and he ended up just fucking punching me. And it's funny, too, because, like, you know, like, he had, like, these fucking frat brothers that he went to college with, too, and they were, like, slapping my head as well. I mean, they were drunk as fuck, but, like, it's like, I don't know you like that, you know what I mean? It was just, like, humiliating, you know, and I never...
Yeah, because you just take it. Because you just fucking take it. God, you can't even listen to this shit. It's so... My God, this guy's so desperate. He's so desperate for a friend, man. And that's why he gets taken advantage of. That's what it is. I can't believe someone like this doesn't hate people. You know, this is exactly the type of person. He should be way more misanthropic than I am, given these experiences. Yeah, he's the one, I don't know, it's just, he has the inner, like, soy boy must be accepted by people existence. Yeah, is it just low IQ? I don't know. Is it possible?
I never saw a dime of any of that money, you know? I pulled this guy out of credit card debt and essentially saved his ass to get an apartment. And I saw nothing in return besides $100 that I used for gas to come back up, you know? So, that would, like, the last time I think I talked to that kid was, like, maybe, I don't know, I think, like, mid-July, you know? Because, like, he was staying with his parents for a while for some reason, and that was, like, one of the last times I ever saw him, and that was it, you know? That was kind of, like, it, and, you know, he's probably married now. I mean, who knows? Like, he was talking about it. Like, he met this girl, like, in his first year of college and shit. And, whatever, man. Like, I don't really, I try not to think about it. I don't really care. But, you know, the next thing I want to talk about is, you know, essentially, like,
he needs to do roids
fucking, you know, blackmailed to
He is taking TRT. That was something that he said, because the doctor's like, oh, I think you have Klinefelters. And so he apparently is, he is on TRT at least.
Absolute death, you know, and lost probably the same amount of money at my dad's place, you know, like 10 grand, you know. Essentially, like, I had met this guy, and I regret meeting him, like, so much. I wish I had never met this guy, you know. I bumped into him at the fucking grocery store. I always would, too. Like, I would always bump into, like, people I knew at, like, the fucking grocery store, and it sucked. But it started out, like, all innocent. Like, he was like, dude, you know, I'm putting together a band. I remember you played drums in high school, bro. And I was like, all right, I guess that sounds pretty cool. It seemed like something pretty cool. And he ended up pretty much just, I mean, he knew about my channel. I don't know how he found it or what. But, you know, what used to piss me off, too, is, like, this guy was an addict. You know, he did meth. He had me drive him around everywhere because he was always crashing his car. He was always...
Klinefelters means he is XXY. He literally has an extra sex chromosome. So basically, the symptoms are it turns you into a soy boy. You have bitch tits, super low testosterone, a micro penis. So yes, he's fucked.
Always like actually I remember this too. He was really drunk one time. He calls me up at like fucking 2 a.m. and this is the thing, you know, like I really felt bad for this guy because not only did he have like schizophrenia, he was, you know, a heavy drug addict, smoked weed all the time too. He was always getting kicked out. He would live in his car like every now and then and sleep in his car. And I really empathized with him. I felt really bad for him. So that's kind of, you know, what started me, like, first off, like, lending him money and giving him money because he couldn't work. He didn't work. And it started, like, this domino effect of just bullshit. You know, never trust an addict. You know, never lend money to an addict, especially. So...
How about just don't lend money to anybody except your family? I mean, legitimately. I don't know. Maybe you guys have close friends that you would trust with money or something, but I'm not sure I would ever lend money to anybody I've ever known.
You know, I remember what I was going to say was, yeah, one time he crashed his car. He was always crashing his car. His car was, like, always in the shop, apparently, so, like, I had to drive him everywhere. And the times that he did drive me, I shit you not, like, he drove me, like, to the strip club and places like that. And every time I got into the car, he would always say, he'd be like, bro, I'm low on gas. Do you have gas money? Like, we'd be halfway there, and I'd look at the fucking meter. It would be, like a millimeter, like a hair follicle away from just fucking going flat and just no gas in the car. And at that point, I'd be like, well, fuck, you know, now I have to give him fucking money for gas because the car's going to fucking die. It was every time.
What, you think he has no money? Or you just believe that he's completely broke and he couldn't afford gas? No. He's taking advantage of you like all these other fucks.
Every single time. And I'm convinced he just hung out with me just for gas money, you know, some days, you know? Because, like, he would see me, like, he'd be like, oh, you want to go to the park? You want to do this? He'd be like, oh, bro, I need, like $20 for gas. Look at my tank. And I'd be like, dude, like, come on, man. And then, like, you know, an hour later, he just, like, dropped me off back home, you know? And that used to, like, piss me off. And I couldn't do anything about it because one of the things, essentially, like, he was over my house, you know, and apparently he took a picture of my license, and that was, like, basically what he was, like, threatening me with. He's like, if you don't give me money and if you don't give me what I want, he's like, I'm gonna fucking put this on your Reddit. I'm gonna fucking ruin your life. He's like, I'm gonna fucking let everyone know who you are. And I'm gonna tell, you know, obviously tell your parents. I'm gonna fucking let every family member you know, like, know about your YouTube channel and shit.
How do you not know this guy's a scumbag? I don't think that's husky. Yeah. yeah. His buddy was husky.
And it's like, you know, it's not my fucking fault that, like, I had no support system to fucking vent about shit, you know, to vent about my dysfunctional friends and fucking family. That my channel was the only resort and only place I felt fucking comfortable enough to share shit. Like, I just, and I was like, I didn't even know what to do at that point. You know, I had no idea what the fuck to do. He got me fired I couldn't even talk about this either at the time. He got me fired from my security guard job. You know, essentially told, because I wouldn't, like, give him money, like, one of the times. And he got me fired from that job pretty much, like, he told, like, my manager, which he, like, knew somehow, like, because my mom, like, worked hard to get me this job. And I had to explain to my mom, I was like, oh, well, I just wasn't even up to par or something. I'd, like, make something up. But, like, the manager, like my boss pretty much, he was like, oh, you know, I can't have that, you know, because, and I didn't even really mention it in any of my videos. I pretty much just, like, kept it nonchalant. But he was trying to explain to me how he had, like, some, a TikToker, like, that would, like, live stream in there or something, and, like, they kept getting, like, people calling. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't fuck with this new generation of, he was like an older guy. He's like, you know, you social media influencers, I don't care who you are. I don't need anybody contacting this place and calling every 2 seconds. And I was like, okay, and he just let me go. And at that point, I was, like, stuck, you know, pretty much. I was, like, fucked, like, essentially, like, so fucked. I just didn't know what the fuck to do. You know, he would just, like, call me up randomly in the mornings and shit like that, like, hey, can you drive me here? I gotta go do a pickup. Hey, bro, you have $100? I need like, because, you know, he was addicted to meth. You know, when you fucking do drugs and meth and drink and have schizophrenia, your head is so fucking...
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you just have to murder him and drop him in the river. I mean, who's gonna miss him? He's a meth head. Does he even have family? I mean, legitimately, that's the way you get rid of him at that point. I mean, maybe the more sane option is you get him arrested, but still, I just... I feel like you're attached to the hip with a fucking psycho drug addict. I mean, you had me at murder. I'm just that he really is kind of just in a fucked situation where it's like you gotta just like you gotta Lenny his ass, you know? He's George, the meth head is Lenny, just fucking put a bullet in the back of his head. You know, just drive him out. Be like, oh, you know, I gotta make a stop out in the country. or something. You know, I'll take you to where you want to go real quick, and then you just kill his ass and then dump him in the river. I mean, they're not gonna figure it out. If he's a fucking meth head, there's no way he has like a family or anyone who gives a fuck.
Shot, it's not even funny. You don't even know what the fuck you're doing to people. Like, you turn into like the biggest like horrible person ever. And trust me, you know, I have so many, like, it gets worse, you know, like I have so many screenshots, I got recordings, I got everything, you know, on this guy pretty much. But you know, and the thing is too, like the times he crashed his car, you know, when I don't know if I like skipped over it or whatever, forgot to talk about it, but like when he crashed his car and had me pick him up, he essentially, like, the cops, they didn't give him a DUI because he was really drunk, and they didn't give him a DUI. The cops don't give a fuck in New York City, man. They don't give a shit. If you call 911 in New York, they'll put you on hold for a bit. Swear to God, it's like the same shit in like California. Like, they'll put you on hold. They don't care. They don't care about giving you a DUI. Like, they don't care about that shit. You know, the cops suck. They suck dick in New York City. They're terrible. They don't do anything. You know, and I even was thinking, I'm like, how is this guy not getting a fucking DUI? And the cops like, yeah, just drive him home. We'll get the car towed. And because he smelled like complete alcohol and all that shit, you know, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I even remember one time, this was like the biggest red flag. I should have just fucking left at that point and stopped hanging out with them. But, you know, essentially, like, this one time we went to the dispensary, and he's like, yo, bro, like, I want to get some weed. He's like, I'll buy you something, bro. He's like, because he had like his debit card, his quote unquote debit card. And, you know, he picks out whatever he wants, and his card declines. He's like, oh shit, bro, can you give me, like, I'll pay you back, bro. I promise you, I'll pay you back. And the cashier, the woman was just looking at me, and I was like, motherfucker, man. You know, and I was like, all right, fine, you know. So essentially, you know, I put the card in, you know, goes through. He's like, yeah, I'll stop at the bank and we'll, after we smoke, because I don't smoke, you know, I would just like sit there and watch him smoke. And we were at this park, he was smoking, he smoked like 3 fucking joints, like back to back. And as we're walking back to the car, he starts fucking freaking out. Like, I thought he was like having like a fucking episode or something, you know what I mean? Like, I thought he was having like a schizophrenic episode or like weed paranoia. And it turned out that his fucking parents were, you know, like they had like his location on his phone. And, you know, I could see the car, he's like, just go. And I didn't know who the fuck these people were, because this motherfucker would have me go to like this literal trap house with him, and then like he would buy drugs from like this shady ass fucking dude, which I'll get into later. And it was in the shittiest fucking area of the Bronx too, the fucking most dangerous shithole area of the Bronx. You know, I'm lucky I didn't get fucking shot in the fucking head. And anyway, what I was saying, so yeah, like the parents come, he's screaming, go, we gotta go. And, you know, I get in my car, I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck? What's going on? He's like, just drive now. And he's trying to put my car in reverse and like trying to like press the pedal with his hand. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, those are my parents. I'm like, then talk to him. I'm like, maybe they're fucking worried about it. He's like, no, bro, you don't understand. And his fucking dad pulls up behind my car, just parks right behind my car, gets out, starts screaming at the top of his lungs. You know, I roll down the window, you know, on the passenger side, you know, and he's like, give me the card. And apparently he had stolen his dad's debit card, withdrew all the money, which was only like $600, thank God, spends it all in a day. But like before he approached the car, my friend's like, I'm so sorry, bro. I lied to you, bro. I'm so sorry. I lied. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what? He's like, this isn't my card, bro. It's my dad's card, bro. And I even asked him, I'm like, what'd you spend $600 on in a day? He's like, you know, he said alcohol and strippers. And I was like, okay, like, what the fuck? But I remember his dad was like literal veins popping out of his fucking head. You know, he was screaming at me too. He's like, you fucking junkie, you junkie piece of fucking shit. And I was like, what did I do? You know, I don't know. I'm not involved.
You know what you did, retard? No. Oh, you're not involved? You're not involved. Really? Fuck off. You're the one who's friends with the fucking druggy retard. How do you even get in this situation in the fucking first place? Like, how the fuck do you even put yourself in this? That's the real shit. I mean, yeah, it's 1000% enabling. That's what this is. Like, it's fucking poured his heart out to a fucking drug addict. Am I supposed to be sympathetic for this part? I'm not. It's just being a retard.
Fucking shit. What the fuck? So he gives his dad the card, and his mom's sitting there all pissed off looking at me, flipped me off, and I was just like, what the fuck, dude? You know? And they just drove off. And at this point, I'm like, I can't fucking do this shit anymore. And I couldn't talk about this on my channel or anything. But the final straw, essentially, so I'm losing a lot of money, and I knew I was going to be homeless like pretty fucking soon anyway, you know. And I had to explain to him many times. I'm like, dude, I only got like fucking $3,000 left in my bank account. Like, I lost fucking.
As if he gives a shit. Why would he care?
In the span of a year.
He doesn't care about you.
99% of it went to other people, because like I don't fucking spend money on stupid bullshit, guys. Like, I don't fucking care about the newest, like, I don't know, clothes, gaming consoles. I never cared about any of that. Like, I always was really good with my money. The only thing it would really ever go to is like food, maybe. You know, my car insurance. That was really it. I don't care about wearing the same clothes every day. I mean, fuck, right now my clothes are all ripped up. I don't give a shit. I haven't showered in forever. I haven't brushed my teeth in fucking forever. I don't care, you know. I really just don't give a shit, you know, about anything. or about like materialistic things, you know, at all. But I think that's what makes, you know, car living like so easy for me. Like it's not really much different from my old life, you know. But the final straw, in which I had to fucking actually go to the police for. So basically, this dude, he wanted me to rob that guy, like his plug in the Bronx, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, like you got to be the lookout." He's like, "Dude, honestly, bro, I think you should buy a gun, dude." He's like, I know where he keeps all of his shit." And he was like, you can tell in his head, like, I mean, first off, he was neurodivergent as fuck, but like, you could always see it in the eyes. You can see, like, if you're neurotypical, you can always see like neurodivergence in the eyes and like certain behaviors.
Okay, bro, I think you're neurodivergent too, I'll be honest. I'm pretty sure I don't think any of the shit you've been doing is normie behavior. I mean, maybe extreme cuckery is kind of a form of normie, I suppose, in this day and age, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure I would say he's neurotypical.
That people like put on, but he was in like some sort of fucking something, man, like some sort of psychosis. And he was just like spam calling me every 5 seconds. He's like, "We're gonna rob him. You know, we're gonna pick a day." He's like, "You know, you're gonna come with me." He's like, "We'll get masks. We're gonna fucking rob him." Like it's like a fucking game. Like it's like that would like what the fuck, man. And that was like the final straw. I'm like, dude, I'm never like I can't do this shit anymore. And that's when he was like, yeah, he would just like threaten me with the whole like, "Oh, you know, I have a picture of your license and I'm gonna fucking ruin your life," like essentially. And apparently that wasn't true. Because like the thing is like what would happen is like when I would tell him like,
wait, that isn't true? You didn't ask to see the fucking picture? There's no fucking way. Oh my god. No, dude. Come. What a fucking retard. Oh my god. What? Are you kidding me? Dude, what? He wants to be a victim. He wants to be taken advantage of. He has a humiliation fetish. DBDR has a humiliation fetish. I have determined in my head that's the only way any of this makes sense. He's getting off to this.
"Oh, I don't want to like, you know," because he would ask like, "Oh, can I have $50? Can I have $100? Can I have $200? When I would say like no, he'd be like, he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna ruin your life. I have your license. I have your license." And then he'd be like, "I'm just kidding, buddy. I'm kidding. I would never do that to you, brosif." And he would always say brosif. He would talk like that. He'd be like, "I'm sorry, brosif. I'm sorry, brosif." Then like 2 seconds later, he'd fucking snap and be like, "I have your fucking license. I'm gonna fucking ruin your life." I can't. This is why like I'm so fucking grateful nowadays that like I don't have to fucking talk to anybody ever again. And I don't trust after that whole shit. I can't trust anybody. I will never fucking speak to another human being unless it's like very small talk, like 2 words.
Oh, so you finally, he's reached my level. Finally, after all this, finally. He's finally learned. Let's hope, but we'll see. Maybe there'll be more stories of him being obviously taken advantage of. Again, this is just about this guy. He hasn't even talked about he briefly talked about the girl he dated for 2 weeks in the previous video I reacted on here. Again, that he didn't kiss or anything, and then as soon as he was about to leave, she's like, "Oh, you need to marry me now," like a fucking psycho. And then he literally just ghosts her ass. He's like, "I'll be right back," and then he never comes back. Are you fucking kidding me? People are saying like, is this satire? Is this fake? It does kind of feel that way sometimes, but I don't think so. I really just think the Kleinfelters thing kind of like, to me, that kind of sealed some of it, especially him getting fucking kicked out of his house and disappearing for 6 months and shit. Yeah, I don't think so. I think he just is. He's a mutant. He's a retarded ass mutant. He's a true cell for sure. This is definitely a true cell, no doubt.
Risking talking to anybody, you know, fuck relationships, fuck friendships, fuck family, fuck all that shit. I'm done. Like I'm really that done. But anyway, yeah, like he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna rob him." And this guy, he was like not someone you want to fuck with, bro. Like this guy reminds me of like something out of like a fucking Euphoria episode. Like, you know, he was bald, tattoos fucking all over the place. Just and there was always people in there too. So I'm like, how are you gonna fucking rob him? You know what I mean? He's like, "That's what I need you for, bro." And I'm like, nah, like no, dude. He's like, "No, I know where he keeps all of his shit, bro. Like this will last me like fucking months, dude. This will last me months, dude." And that's essentially like, so yeah, I cut him off completely. And like a week goes by, everything's kind of good. But I noticed my mom wasn't talking to me at all. Like she just was like really fucking weird, you know? And pretty much like this guy like had sent her a link to my fucking YouTube channel and shit. And that's like kind of was like the even bigger spiral. Cause like if all this kind of happened like, you know, 2 years ago, I would have been fucked and probably just like, I don't even know what I would have done. I have no idea. But like, you know, like I'm glad it happened.
The thing is, here's another thing too. If you think there's a risk of your YouTube channel ruining your life, maybe you should just private the videos. You know, just a thought. It's not like he was even making money. But again, if the theory is he's retarded, then he probably just didn't think of that. But again, like him losing the security job, you know, as soon as a guy starts threatening you over your YouTube channel And your YouTube channel, like, ultimately doesn't matter. I know it's just him venting or whatever, but he could just unlist the videos at bare minimum, but ideally private them. And then maybe when things blow over, you make them public again. I mean, is that really something that you wouldn't think of? I mean, honestly, this fucking, I don't know.
Happened around the time it did because, like, first off, like, you know, another family was moving in, like, the
And
house
yeah,
was
and that's wasted time is right. He did after he got kicked out. After he got kicked out, wasted time he did. Why not way before any bad shit happened? Again, I know hindsight's 20/20 and all that, but I don't think it takes a really even an above average IQ to think of that.
sold everything. I was moving anyway. I was fucking leaving anyway. I don't even know where my mom went. You know, like she apparently, like, what I heard was that she went to California to live with a high school friend or something like that, you know, and just retired. But you know, she eventually, like, confronted me about it, and, like, she knew, like, the thing is too, like, she knew about, like, that's why, like, she was the one who, like, had to fucking call the police, and, like, essentially, like, nothing even happened because, like, first off, this guy, like, legitimately during that time, his family, they put him in, like, some sort of, like, rehab in Florida. I don't know why Florida, apparently because they had, like, the best, like, most expensive rehabs in the world or some shit. Like, and again, like, what I'm gonna say, yeah, the cops don't do shit, they don't give a fuck. But you know, my mom was, like, scared to death. She's like, you're always causing drama and doing bullshit. What the fuck? And it just was horrible, you know? And she just was like, yeah, you're leaving right fucking now. I can't deal with this fucking shit, you know? Like, oh my God. Yeah, she was, like, more pissed off about my fucking YouTube channel. She's like, well, you need to go to therapy and you need to do this and you need heavy medication. Because they wanted to put me in a group home.
Didn't he already go to therapy? Again, this reminds me of my own mother now. That's reminding me of my mom. Like, you need to go to therapy. It's like, I've already been to therapy a million goddamn times. You think it's gonna work if I do it again? Yeah. That part's pretty relatable, I'll be honest.
At first, you know, which makes no sense. I have zero diagnosed mental illness. I don't, like, really, I mean, nowadays, like, I drive a truck. My life's fucking fantastic. I don't have to worry about shit or care about anybody, you know? But, like, it made no sense, like, you know, especially after, like, them finding my channel. They're like, my uncle was sending me fucking death threats. He's like, you better delete this shit right now. This is disgusting towards our family.
Therapy might be better for him since he has 2 X chromosomes. I think, didn't he, I might be remembering wrong, but I thought he did a video talking about his therapy experiences before, but I can't quite remember. I've forgotten a lot of the lore, because, I don't know, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I just, you know, it's been a long time.
And, yeah, I just had it, you know. I was like, fuck this shit, man. You know, everything just came crashing down, and I couldn't even talk about it, too. What my channel was designed for, just to vent about my dog shit-ass life, I couldn't even talk about certain shit because I knew people were watching, you know, and I was like, fuck this. You know, why am I even doing this for anyway? You know? So, yeah, you know, that's pretty much, like, that's why you shouldn't lend people money, you know? Like, even if he wasn't blackmailing me with my fucking YouTube channel, it would have been with something else. I'm almost positive of that, you know?
Honestly, I think the real lesson is don't associate with drug addicts. You know, the lending money, sure, I mean, that's okay advice, but really the better advice is stay away from drug addicts. I mean, honestly, I'm shocked that that's not the message he's going for in this, because that one seems, you know, a little better, maybe more common sense, but still.
He even threatened to kill my dog. I have a fucking screenshot of that. But yeah, like, it's just, I'm so done with people, you know, and I don't have to fucking, that's why I changed my number too. I'm not fucking, like, you know, what the fuck, why am I getting spam called by my fucking family members just saying the same shit over and over again? Oh, you gotta go to the hospital, you're fucking, you're clearly losing it, you're fucking sick in the head. And that's why I started drinking, you know, that, like, I can't even tell you, like, the amount of, like, I can't sleep at night because I think about all this shit. Like, it replays in my head 24/7, like, that guy blackmailing me and all this shit, like, it replays in my head all the time. Like, I really can't sleep, and, like, I have, like, really bad fucking panic attacks, or I used to. Now I'm like, kind of, you know, like, since I moved, like, completely left New York, no one knows where the fuck I am or what I'm doing. Like, it's just, like, I used to have to fucking drink. It was the only thing that calmed me down. It was the only thing that, like, just took everything away, like, all the pain away and shit, you know, of, like, what had happened to me. But yeah, that's fucking pretty much it. Some brutal shit I went through, you know, and now I'm doing better. I don't want to look back on it. I don't want to, like, acknowledge these people or ever talk to them ever again, and that's final. Like, and this is the thing too, like, apparently I think that guy from last I've heard, he's still in that fucking rehab. Like, for all my old friends, I don't care, dude. I just want to move on and not think about this shit. I don't hold grudges. I don't give a fuck. Like, I hope their lives turn out good. I don't care, you know, but.
And so, you know, he's not on enough tests. Give him more TRT until he wants his vengeance. You're pathetic, suck my cock. Yeah, I see your name and I said it. And you should suck my cock.